Hey guys, it is Tuesday. It is SFF Release Day. Here we go with what has been released this Tuesday, and maybe some of the things that you want to see, some things that you want to pick up, maybe. There's a lot of stuff here, so I'm going to cover things a little faster than usual and maybe not look up everything on Goodreads. I have a new Windows system in my computer, so this is the first time I'm running this on a Windows 10, so there might be some issues. Let me know if you run into any main issues. Alright, here we go. Starting off with the Barnes & Noble, the sci-fi fantasy website, their blog, and the things that have come out today. Released on June 7th, we have a study of Sable by Mercedes Lackey. This is the 11th or 12th book, depending on where you're starting, in this Elemental Masters series. I have not read anything by Mercedes Lackey. If you have, let me know what her books are like, if you think I'd like them or if anyone else would like them. In a fairy tale twisting Elemental Masters series, and taps a fresh vein of excitement with two key decisions, bringing back Non and Sarah, last seen as youngsters in previous entries of the series, The Wizard of London and Home for the Sea, and now powerful young women and roommates. So people that like this series will probably really like this book because it brings back old characters. And enlisting Sherlock Holmes and Watson, key supporting characters. Readers will need to do some research to figure out the fairy tale connection in this one, as Sarah insists an opera singer with a ghost problem, and logical Holmes investigations keep Sarah, and readers on their toes. Could it be possibly Fate of the Opera? I don't know. Mercedes Lackey. I'm not going to look that up. Like I've said, if you've read those, let me know. I want to know if they're any good. Sam Sykes coming out with, it looks like an entire collection of his Aeon's Gate trilogy. This is an omnibus of all three books, and it is called An Infinity for Steel by Sam Sykes. Sykes' popular Aeon's Gate trilogy is collected here in a single truly massive volume, reminding fantasy fans that the author's way with dialogue and his approach to exploring and deconstructing epic fantasy tropes are a lot of fun, without sacrificing the sense of magical awe or the tense battle scenes that the genre calls for. Link and his fellow adventurers have little to offer aside from their blades, fighting skill, and willingness to do anything for money. This is a pretty traditional fantasy series. It's his take on fun fantasy. I've heard very mixed things about this. Let's look up the first book in the trilogy to see if anyone has read it and see what they like about it. It's called Tome of the Undergates. Regardless, an entire omnibus of all three books is nice. I'll definitely be looking for that in the far future when I see it for super cheap. See, the first book has a 3.36, 1,143 ratings. Sam Sykes, he's very middle groundish. I haven't read anything by him though, so I shouldn't say that. Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book gave it a 2. Ever wanted to read a novelization of an anime or reading Tome of the Undergates by Sam Sykes? I often felt that was exactly what I was doing. He gave it a 2, so not that great. Friend Nathan here gave it a 4, and then a friend here, Matthew, gave it a 3. So, reads like a novelization of an anime and doesn't have very good reviews. But if that's interesting to you, fun, swashbuckling type of fantasy, a lot of fighting, and just having a good time, saying probably cut up things, because Sam Sykes on Twitter, he says really funny things at times. It seems like he writes more on Twitter than he does actual books, though. But yeah, his books are definitely a special taste. Check it out if you're interested, though. The Wheel of Oshine by Mark Lawrence. This concludes his Red Queen's War trilogy. I've read the first book, Prince of Fools, and I liked it. It wasn't an amazing book by anything, but it was fun. We had a guy that is very much a cowardly person that's very self-centered, and he teams up with this barbarian, and they go out and try to save this barbarian's family. And it's a lot of fun, and I like the ideas in it. It just felt very bare bones. I have the second book. I haven't gotten around to reading it. The second book is The Liar's Key. And I think with how the first book, Prince of Fools, set up this trilogy, I think they're going to get more intense as the books go on. And so this is the third book in this trilogy. Mark Lawrence, I like Mark Lawrence as a guy. I think he's a good guy. He actually sent me the Prince of Fools to review on my website for free. Signed it. Nice guy. So I will buy this book very soon. I would have bought it today, but I wasn't over there today. I'll probably get it in the next few days. And maybe I'll read all the rest of them relatively soon. So, yeah, there's a bunch of large warring factions with very powerful individuals that are controlling these countries, and it's a very interesting take on. I don't want to spoil where it's set, but it's very interesting. It doesn't over focus much on grimdark. It's more fun and fast moving, but it's still pretty gritty. And Jalen and Snorri are great. So yeah, let's just see if anyone has read this yet. The Wheel of Ocean, probably Ocean. Has 173 ratings, a 4.5 right now. Pretty good. My friend Matthew has read it already. Lawrence has done it again. A stunning tale with adventure, darkness, and magic. And a bunch of other people are reading it right now. Mogsy from MMOGC. Biblia Sanctum, she gave it a 5. She really liked it, so that's great. It's probably one I will pick up. Okay, moving on. Like a Boss, Windswept Book 2 by Adam Rakunas, in which Adam Rakunas continues the adventures of everyone's favorite interspace rum merchant Padma Mata, who thought a life of relative ease was in store after she finally purchased her favorite rum distillery at... Oh, did it stop? Oh no, I'm still streaming. Sorry. I don't know. This Windows 10 is so confusing. I don't even know if I have the right settings, to be honest. Sorry about that. Honestly, at the end of Windswept, not so much her sworn enemy, Evan Root Syrian, is at her prison and aiming to pour himself double fingers of revenge with a crazy plan to position himself as the head of her new religious order. Okay. Flat out entertaining original SF sagas running. Something fun. It's on ebook. Yeah. Silent Hall by N.S. Dolkart. This is another ebook. 5 refugees from a kingdom ravaged by plague wander the waste in search of a cure in Dolkart's epic fantasy debut. Instead, they find a paranoid wizard with an invisible fortress willing to do anything to escape the attention of the gods. With Xander's held, the travelers may have a shot at finding the answers they need, even if they have to brave divine wrath, cross some decidedly inhospitable mountains, rescue a dragon, yes, rescue a dragon, and wake a sleeping Leviathan to do it. Sounds like fun, fantasy, kind of maybe Michael J. Sullivan in a way. Only has 8 ratings, a 3.88. Not bad. Let's read some more. A coward's son, a merchant's daughter, a young prince, a wild girl, and a half-dragon all find themselves refugees from their island home. When a plague destroys their home, they have to forge their own future. Along with a sinister wizard, they awaken a dragon and defy the gods. Sounds fun. Not many people have it marked. It's from Angry Robot. And this guy here really likes it. He said it's crazy good considering this is the author's very first novel. That's very cool. Some good reviews, a couple not so great reviews. But yeah, that sounds kind of interesting. I'll put that on my maybe shelf because I want to see what people think of that one. Knight's Master by Tanith Lee. The 5th volume of the late Tanith Lee's masterful Flat Earth series returns to print in paperback and for the first time as an ebook. Begin your exploration of a rich fantasy world split into 4 realms: the god-inhabited Upper Earth, the Under Earth, where the devils and demons rule, the Inner Earth, the land of the dead, and the Flat Earth, where mortals carry out their small everyday lives, and gain a new appreciation for the work of one of the great dames of fantasy. I've always wanted to try a Tanith Lee book. This is the 5th volume. Let's see if anyone has read the first one. Wait, I just looked up Knight's Master, and the first. Oh, I think I'm supposed to say the first. Is it just my webpage that's messed up, or did they really mess up that? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I hope that's not there. That's the second typo on this page I've seen. By Tanith Lee. This was published in 1978. Wow. It's only 208 pages. Friend Scott here. Give it a 5. It has a 4.2 rating with 1,250 ratings. Not bad. I want to try Tanith Lee, so I think this might be a good place to try it, if I ever do. Yep. One of the first female fantasy authors back in the 70s, along with like Ursula K. Le Guin and a few other people. So that's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Gotta move it along. A Green and Ancient Light by Frederick S. Durbin. In a world not quite our own, during a conflict that's not quite World War II, so it's alternate history, a young boy is set to live with his grandmother in a fishing village surrounded by strange sacred grove of ruins, a crashed plane, a buried secret, and an interloper who claims to know the secret of Cinderella's slipper will change everything in this parallel world fantasy that calls to mind the Book of Lost Things, and has drawn comparisons to the beloved works of Peter S. Beagle. Wow. Okay, so, sure, why not? Frederick S. Durbin, A Green and Ancient Light. Let's see if anyone has read it yet. 19 ratings, 3.95. A gorgeous fantasy in the spirit of Pan's Labyrinth. Wow. And John Connolly's The Book of Lost Things. So that's cool. Here we go. Bookworm Blues. Sarah gave it a 5. That's very good. Let's see. This guy says it's very comfortable yet compelling. Absolutely beautiful. Part historical fiction, part fantasy. A 9-year-old boy forges a charming relationship with his grandmother while staying in her village during the war. Cool. Lovely and enchanting, this story steals your heart in the way fairy tales used to when you heard them as a kid. This actually sounds really good. I saw this advertised online on Twitter today, actually, and I didn't look into it, but I think this sounds decent. Saga Press. It's only 320 pages. Alright. Here we go. Super Extra Grande by Yoss. Yoss. Rebellion Books presents a newly translated novel by Yoss, considered one of the masters of contemporary Cuban sci-fi. Ooh, Cuban sci-fi. Cool. In the far future, humanity has mastered space travel and exists as one small corner of a vast, very strange intergalactic tapestry. Think planet-sized amoebas, talking lizards, and female creatures that exist. Mantis-like on substances from the males. Okay. Otter Steel, our hero is Jean Amos Sangan, Dongo, an interspecies veterinarian tasked with hunting down a giant creature that has swallowed 2 galactic community ambassadors, each of whom Jan happens to have slept with. Both the fragile peace between the galaxies' 7 sentient species collapses. This sounds awesome. Super extra grande. Cuban SFF. This sounds like so much fun. Okay, only 16 ratings, a 3.81. Let's see, let's check out this one here. This is the one that... Alright, only 160 pages. It's short. And this is from Restless Books. It won the UPC Science Fiction Award in 2011. Cool. Cuban sci-fi is a party, y'all. Reminiscent of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but raunchier. I love the use of Spanglish as an intergalactic language. Downright hilarious at times. Main character is a bit of a sexist pig, and he knows it. That's what Emily said. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see someone read this just so I know, like, if it's any good. That's kind of funny. Sci-fi SFF from Cuba. The next installment in Nian Hearn's this Dragon Empire Tales of the Shikano series. I know that Kitty G read the first one and kind of liked it. So yeah, second installment, and they're releasing like all the paperbacks within a very short time. I think they're all this year, all in 2016. They're very small books, but they kind of remind me of manga a little bit. Let me read some of this. Left off. I don't want to read the part. This series offers a refreshing change of pace for anyone who loves fantasy, but is looking to break out from the traditionally Western tropes of sword and sorcery. True, there are swords and sorcery aplenty, and political maneuverings, betrayals, and impassioned love, but the setting and lyrical style will be a thrill to both longtime fans and newcomers seeking something exotic. It's one pet peeve of mine when they call things from other countries exotic, but I'll let it pass on this one. Especially women and like men, like when they call other people exotic, it's not, you know, they're a person. They're not like exotic themselves. Let's see, 3.56, only 9 ratings so far. Let's see if anyone, let me check out the first book again. I have the first book as to read maybe. First book is Emperor of the 8 Islands. I thought Caitlin read it. I guess she didn't. She must have just bought it. Well, anyways, Althea Ann, someone that I like her reviews quite a bit. She gave it a 3. So she's known for her Japanese tinge to fantasies. I don't know, something maybe to try. First book is only 272 pages. And the new book is 288, so not very long, not that huge of a commitment. If you're interested in more Eastern style. New David Drake book, 11th book in Drake's RCN series came out. Infomacracy. That's the weirdest word to say. Everyone's been reviewing this. Infomacracy, or have been reading it. Malka Older's debut novel imagines a world where the entire population is divided into groups of 100,000 known as Sentinels. Each Sentinel can vote for the government they wish to belong to, governments ranging from corporate-dominated Philip Morris to policy-based groups with names like Liberty. This is cool. I really want this, actually. A global organization called Information seeks to police elections and ensure that the many governments keep their promises and play by the rules. And when a researcher for a government called Policy First stumbles onto a conspiracy to rig elections, He's teamed with an agent of information as they struggle to find out the truth, expose the plot, and naturally enough stay alive. Older's fierce imagination and eye for detail make her future world seem entirely plausible and her characters believably flawed. It's one of the year's most promising debuts, and we can't wait to see where she goes with the recently announced sequel. So Malka Older is a female author. For the longest time, I did not know that. I just found that out a few days ago, actually. I thought that this was a novella, but I don't think it is. It's a hardcover. It's 384 pages, so it's definitely a novel. My friend Joe from Final Joe Bull read this. He liked it. I watched his review. It was good. He gave it a 4. Rachel Colnati gave it a 4 as well. Misanthropist gave it a 3. They all got it from NetGalley. Brad gave it a 5, another 5. So 4s, 5s, pretty good scores so far. 3.83 with 30 ratings. I think this sounds really interesting, especially because it is an election season for the U.S. I think that might help it with sales. I think that might help it with people understanding it more. I've been going for 21 minutes. I need to hurry up some. Medusa Chronicles by Stephen Baxter and Alistair Reynolds. They co-wrote this together. I read something about they liked co-writing something together because it felt like after they were done, it was like a brand new novel to them. And because they co-wrote it, they really didn't know everything about it. So I thought that was cool. This is a sequel to Arthur C. Clarke's novella from 1971 called A Meeting with Medusa. I want to read that before I read this, but to read that before this, I have to get like this big anthology, and I need to find it in the library system because I don't want to buy an entire Arthur C. Clarke anthology just for one novella. But anyways, continuing the story of Howard Falcon, whose body was rebuilt using cybernetics and prosthetics after he was injured exploring Jupiter, is a task best left to experts. Luckily, we have the combined minds of Stephen Baxter and Alistair Reynolds who return to the story 45 years later, crafting a sequel overfull with cutting-edge seminal ideas. Falcon's storied journey to Jupiter has inspired Earth to stretch out beyond the planet's boundaries, but the technology developed and refined by humanity begins to assert its own autonomy and intelligence. Preserving the tone and feel of Clarke's original, Reynolds and Baxter expand the scope of the story in thrilling ways, making this a must-read for any fan of the Golden Age master. I want to read this just because I have not read any co-written books. Well, a few, but like nothing like this though. 102 ratings, 3.82. My friend Crystal Panett gave it a 3. An interesting and entertaining read with lots of sciencey bits. So definitely hard science. Some parts of the story dragged, but it's a compelling read with a great twist. All right, 3.5. We have a lot of people that have marked to read. We got 4s. This person, Claudia, says, how should I put this? It gets 3 stars because I don't have the possibility to give 2.5. Only due to a few passages which were clearly in Reynolds' style. 4 stars for those. As for the rest, I think was awful. Huh. She doesn't like Stephen Baxter, it looks like. This person here says it felt very Baxter-like, so that's important for me to remember. I've yet to read anything by Baxter. So we'll put this on the maybe list. I don't know. Those reviews, I'm going to wait for people to review that some more. Another Pathfinder novel came out, Liar's Bargain by Tim Pratt. And the anthology by Neil Clarke came out, the best science fiction of the year. These were all the short stories, short fiction from 2015 that did well. I actually want to get this. I think this is pretty cool. I am always a year behind when it comes to short fiction just because I like to read the stuff that people nominate and things that win awards. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't read a lot of short fiction, so I mean, I'm gonna read the best that there was the previous year. I mean, might as well. Yeah. Once in a while, I'll read something new. So we have things from Seth Dickinson, Elliot de Bodard, and Blue Lily's Wake. I've heard of that one. Hello Hello by Shannon McGuire, Johnny Chu, Carrie Vaughn, Ann Leckie, Yoon-Ha Lee, Brenda Cooper. I'm just saying the people I know. There's probably a lot of people in here that are good that I don't know. Ken Liu, Kelly Robeson, Naomi Christer, Ian McDonald, Alistair Reynolds does something. Memoration. Cool. From Nightshade Books. Relatively cheap, to be honest. It's like $12.65 on Barnes & Noble for an anthology of shorts by Neil Clark, the guy from Clark's World. 600 pages of short fiction for $12. Like, yeah. Okay. Alright, that's all from Barnes & Noble. Let's check out the Amazon stuff real quick. Hardcover. We have Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. That came out today. Let's see what that's about. Combining the emotional depths of the art of racing in the rain with the magical spirit of the life of Pi, Lily and the Octopus is an epic adventure of the heart. So this is feel good, possibly magical realism a little bit. The magic of this novel is in the read, and we don't want to spoil it by giving away too many details. Okay, if you're on Amazon and the first thing that says we don't want to give away much because it's a magical read, that actually makes me interested, because that takes a lot of guts to just go ahead and do that. Alright, let's check this out. Lily and Octopus by Stephen Rowley. 4.16 with 360 ratings. That's actually really good. For a new book, I think that's good. Oh, check out this picture. This person carried book. I did not want her to cry today. Ah. Dog stories. Dog stories, guys. 300-page novel about a 12-year-old dog with cancer. I'm gonna cry now. Okay. Let's see. Contemporary magical realism. I bet there's definitely some people that would like this. We have Osheim is here. Already went over that. We have Star Trek, The Official Guide to Our Universe. Star Trek books. The Star Trek book, Big Ideas Simply Explained. Dr. DOA, Secret Histories. Oh, Saint's Blood, The Greatcoats, comes out today. This is the third book in the Sebastian de Castile series. Quite a few people like this series, and I like it too. It is basically the Three Musketeers, or Man in Iron Mask, as a fantasy book. Yeah. Dukes, swashbucklers, inquisitors, assassins, religious soldiers, you name it, it's in this book. It seems like it's really good. Recently, some people have been reading it and really liking it. So yeah, this comes out today. Saint's Blood. And a new Ed Greenwood book. Oh, The Suicide Motor Club by Christopher Buehlman comes out today. This is a horror book, and Christopher Buehlman is actually someone I really like as a horror author. One of his books I couldn't finish because it was just too much for me, but another one of his books, The Lesser Dead, I really liked. This is basically a book about these people that go around and smashing the cars on the highway and kill people. They usually don't leave any survivors, but that is to all but one. 2 years ago, they left a witness in the mangled wreck of her family car, her husband dead, her son taken. She remembers their awful faces despite their tricks and clamors, and she's coming for them. Her thirst for vengeance even more powerful than her hunger for blood. Ooh. Ooh. That's cool. So I'm getting a very much a that one movie by, I think it's Tarantino, and there was another movie with it. It was like B movies. I forget the name of it. It had the Mad Max guy in it. I think that was a Mad Max guy. Maybe not. Mel Gibson? Or is it someone else? I don't know. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, yeah. That sounds like something I'll get in paperback. I'm a green novel. Let's see, July 7th. That's about it for July 7th. Let's check out the paperback real quick before we end. Paperback, we have the Warcraft official movie novelization. I have not read the Long Earth series by Pratchett and Baxter, Olga. And I'm sorry that you can't hear the stream well. Like I said at the beginning, I have a new system, so it's more of a test than anything else right now. But I've heard that the Long Earth series is decent. But I hear it's more Baxter influenced than Pratchett influenced. Anyways, I had the Best Horror of the Year, Volume 8 by Ellen Datlow. Some books I talked about already. So I'll be curious to watch this over again to see how my sound is. Queen of Fire, A Raven's Shadow. Queen of Fire came out in paperback. So all those people that did not want to buy the hardback because of the bad reviews, here it is. A Rich Horton anthology. Yeah, that's about it. Some more things that I covered. Spear of Light, the second book in Brenda Cooper's series, came out today. And yeah. Oh, the paperback of Neverwhere, the author's preferred text from Gaiman, came out. So anyone looking for a new issue of Neverwhere. This Savage Song came out, V.E. Schwab people. And that's about it. Alright, so I'm going to cut this off now. Thanks for watching, guys. The things that I saw, Infomacracy would be something I'm interested in. This A Green and Ancient Light, actually, I'm interested in that. That seems very interesting. And then The Wheel of Oshime by Lawrence. And I eventually want to get to The Great Coats, the Saint's Blood book. But yeah, that's what came out today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too bad with the sound. I will check it out though. Probably will not re-record if the sound's bad. I'll just fix it for next time. Alright, thanks guys.